where shadows play. Legends come alive at the break of day. Footsteps echo loud, but no one's there. Bigfoot's lurking in the midnight air. Goblin howls beneath the moonlit gloom. Eyes that shine like fire in a room of doom. Poltergeist dancing, moving through the halls. Ancient secrets breaking through the walls. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fright. Cryptids in your mind, let your wonder grow. The hidden world is ours to know. From the forest deep to the attic's dust. O.C.S.T, we're learning to trust. Tracks in the snow where the brave won't tread. Hidden voices calling from the things we've read. The unknown things with a haunting sound. Empowering us as the tales go around. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in the silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight. Fueled by the fight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to O.C.S.T, Bigfoot and Stuff. Christy will be back here in just a minute. She's having to take Colton something to drink. But I want to tell everybody thank you for those of you that were able to catch the interview that was on just before our show. Sorry we had to start a little bit late, but we had to make sure that some of you that got in to the video late were able to finish watching. Yeah, there's Christy. And we're going to bring Sparky up here in just a minute.
And Gimpy. Gimpy's in here too. Say hi, Gimpy.
Hi. Hello,
Colton.
everyone.
Yeah.
We love Colton.
Sometimes.
And yeah, we'll bring Sparky up here in just a minute. But I want to remind everybody that it's Connor's birthday, so everybody say happy birthday, Connor, in the chat if you haven't already.
Hey, Sparky.
But yeah, Connor is 22 years old.
I feel
today.
old. Really, 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 really old.
At least when I was old, Dad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Slam the Herald.
I'm
Oh,
ancient.
wow.
You think I would know where Bigfoot came from?
Yeah.
Hey, Jess.
Maybe I do. I just don't say.
So, are we gonna? Should we do roll call?
Yeah,
I
let's
like doing
do-
roll call.
Oh.
Me.
Let's go ahead and bring Sparky up first.
Aw. Okay, we'll bring Sparky up.
Sparky, if he does electricity for a living.
All
Hey,
right.
Sparky. Colton wants to know if you do electricity for a living.
I did for a short time. That's where I
Darn
got
it.
my name.
You want to come
And
down
hey,
for a
everybody.
living? Figure it out.
They got a company named after you.
Anyway, let's start this craziness before I have
Yeah.
to leave. And
It's at 15 minutes, like 10 minutes.
Sharon with 2 R's. Hello, how are you? Good day to you.
See you, Sharon.
And of course, Sparky.
Michelle McGuire, good to see you.
Sharon Guy. I hope you got your phone situated.
Let's see, we got
See who else. Keep scrolling. And of course, there's me. Hey, Jim, what's up?
Jim's camera at dawn. Hey, Jim, good to see you.
Oh, Linda, how's it going over
Linda.
there?
Let me know when you leave. I will get some more water.
I just gave you the
I
water.
know. I will get some more. I will drink more.
Who else we got?
It's a lot of chat back and forth between me, Sharon, and
Mhm.
Sparky. So, hey,
Kat.
Kat, how's it going?
Oh.
Hey, CJ. Oh, sorry.
Connor's behaving.
Connor, are you behaving?
I don't know. He said he's at his girlfriend's house, so
He is. He is. Yep. Hey, Gary. I hope you're feeling well. Keep scrolling, babe.
Yeah, I am. Gary Spikes, good to see you.
oh, that's my man right there.
Gary Spikes.
Good
Yeah,
man.
he's an awesome guy. He's awesome.
Pink Pixie, good to see you. Pink Pixie, I will get you the links to the videos when I have the time to look them up. I haven't had the time. Been
He's
working
been
on this.
slacking. I'm telling you, Pink. I'm just kidding.
Let's see.
Hey, Emmy. How's
Emmy,
it going?
good to see you.
You need to go faster.
I'm going.
Hey, Michelle.
Lisa Ann.
You missed Michelle,
No, we said, hey, Michelle McGuire.
did we?
Yeah,
Oh,
we did.
Hey, Grace. How's it going? And Lisa Ann,
Yeah.
lovely to see you.
Good to see Grace. Let's see. What else?
I know Arcane's in here. Hey, Jesse. I saw her earlier.
Yeah, hey, Jesse. Good to see you. Let's
Do,
see.
do, 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 do. Do, do.
A lot of-
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Yep. John.
What? John's in here?
John's in the chat. Yep.
Did I miss him?
Right there.
Oh, haha, hi, bro.
Yeah.
I guess I did miss him.
World.
It's Cornbread. Oh, hey, Cornbread.
Cornbread's in the chat.
Yay, he made it.
D-Hood, I think they're northern Oklahoma. Is that right?
They
North-
are northeast. Yeah, northeast Oklahoma. Actually, Arcane Paranormal World. She's in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, I saw the what maybe I shouldn't say, but I saw what you did today. I don't know if has it been dropped yet. The
D-Hoot,
hey,
Good to see
T-Hoo,
you.
nice
Welcome.
to see you.
welcome to the show.
Oh, how are you? He's telling them to tell him about the time. Sparky, did you spark something up? T-Hoo says.
She knows me way too well.
Okay, Cat. Anybody else that we missed? You guys, if we missed anybody,
that's
we
it.
love y'all.
All
Welcome in.
right. So, like we were saying,
Hit that thumbs up button before we do anything else.
yeah, make sure you hit
Wait,
that
wait a
thumbs up.
second. Let me see this for just a second. Because I'm having a hard time hearing Sparky Spark. Come on.
Okay.
Hey, Sparky, talk to us for just a second.
How am I now?
Better. That's on us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hey, Amber. Good to see
Amber.
you.
All right, those of you that didn't get to see the video right before the show, make sure you go check it out when you got time. We're gonna talk about it a little bit tonight. It was Daniel Gonzalez, and he's originally from Georgia. He's now residing in Florida, and he used to live in the state of Oregon. Um, he had a Bigfoot encounter in 1989 with his son and his son's two friends. They were on a hunting scouting expedition in the mountains. And
Hi, Lulu Bell.
Lulu Bell, good to see you. We interviewed him for about an hour. Very fun, very interesting interview. Great person. So y'all go check that out.
I think I want to move to Oregon
Yeah, Oregon's beautiful.
because it was beautiful. But at least that one picture was. I don't know. Something about moving to where it's cold all the time does not suit me. But the mountains would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go to the coast. It's all wet over there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is like you get those fronts that come through, the Pacific fronts and Arctic fronts. Oh boy.
Here, funny, abnormal. I've never flown a day in my life. Hey, WTF, Mike, how's it going?
WTF, Mike. Good to see you.
Oh, and by the way, cornbread, I know I'm nuts. That's all that.
No comment.
We all agreed. We're not going to argue with her.
I was going to tell him he better watch it or he'll be getting an ice cold bath later.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
I've never done that challenge, so
I've done it once. I'm not doing it again. It took my breath away. Shut up, Harold.
I can say so much right now.
Shut up. I mean, hush your face. There. Is that better? There.
yeah. It's kind of hot in our house right now. Pretty hot today in the 90s.
Yes. For those, I'm actually wearing a tank top and I never do that. So it has to be like almost 100 degrees.
Yeah. So you have to go get.
I have to go get Cammie here in a little bit. So
Yeah.
she's ready now.
Yeah, I love that interview. That was amazing. Just how he explained everything and went through it. And
Oh yeah.
I tried to like stop him halfway through it a couple times just to see how he would react, and the dude did not flinch one bit.
Nope. He had it fresh on his mind, and he wanted to let everybody know about it, because he doesn't want his story to go untold. So that's why he got a hold of me. He said I just don't want to get my story to have my story go untold.
I'm
I
leaving
want
you in good
everyone
hands.
to know. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Sparky, be good to him.
Absolutely not. No, that's why I thought one thing that really stood out to me was because it was such an amazing event. He did have details, a lot of details,
Oh yeah.
but he didn't have over details. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like he remembered it the way he remembered it, and he didn't try to put any fillers in, which I thought just getting more credibility at that point, because it's like he retold it the same thing over and over again.
Right. Yeah, and the part of the conversation we had with him where before the show, you could tell right then that it was going to be a good show, because like you said, what he said during the taped interview and what he was telling us beforehand is just he was to the point. And
we talked to him for like 20 minutes, didn't we, before that interview?
Oh yeah.
And because he kind of went through everything, and it was like, wow, okay. Yeah, he didn't waver a bit.
No, he didn't. The man talked about it like it happened yesterday. It was an amazing conversation. Like I said, an amazing guy. He's somebody you want to sit and talk to for hours and hours.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
very wholehearted,
like to,
easy.
Yeah, I would have liked to have heard some of his hunting stories.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he has a couple good ones.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought it was really cool when he was talking about his son and their friends actually still get together every once in a while and kind of relive it, talk about it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely pretty cool. Yeah, like Sharon says, good to see everyone. And thanks for joining. And remember to slap that like button. Share the live. Subscribe.
Hit that notification bell.
Mm-hmm.
And check it every once in a while, because sometimes mine on different channels just goes away.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but YouTube hates some of us. YouTube
likes to do that. They try to make sure you're paying attention, I guess.
I don't know what they're doing.
And if y'all could comment after the show, I tend to respond to everybody's comments when I can. Some of them right away, some of them maybe tomorrow. But if I got time, I go in and check my comments and try to reply. So.
And for this show, like every live, if you're bored, next to the chat button off the right, there's a heart button. If you hit that every once in a while, it actually helps the algorithm for YouTube to send it out. So if you get bored, hit that button.
Yep. Let's see. I'm still trying to get used to reading the chat while I'm on the live.
So one thing I was gonna mention that I don't think anybody that watched the interview knows, when he was telling us where he left from, when he went from Bend to Devil's Lake, how he went around the mountains, where he was looking at, there was lava rock. When I pulled up the map, everything was spot on. Like to where we got it within probably a 4 or 5 mile where his camp was.
Right.
Which is really cool.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Knowing exactly what volcano it was near, and just his description of the roads. Yeah, and then remembering what every single one of those horses, how they reacted when they did. Yeah, that was my favorite part of the interview was when we brought that map up, and especially like before we recorded and we brought that map up, man, it's like, yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah, because when he first told us where the lake was, where he parked his car and left from, I couldn't find it. And so I finally zoomed in enough, and sure enough, right where he told me it was right there. I was like, okay. Like he knew every inch of that mountain range.
Yeah, he did. He definitely. I would love to interview his son about that same encounter. Oh yeah, definitely.
It'd be really cool if you could get like all three of the boys and him together at the same time.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. All I got to do is reach out to him and see if we can make that happen.
And that was the other thing that I thought was really cool, because a lot of people talk about the smell with Bigfoot. Some have it, some don't. Everybody says you should. And he was adamant, like, I did not smell anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know of a lot of people that have the same experience. They didn't smell anything. And I kind of like his idea of like they'd give it off maybe as like an anger or a warning or whatever, that smell, like skunk do. And I got thinking about it. I was like, well, deer, a lot of animals do that. Like deer have them near their foot or hoof.
Yeah.
So a lot of animals do that musk smell. I wonder if that could be an explanation for that.
Yeah. Could be.
It's a thought, anyways.
Yeah, he was pretty adamant about that Bigfoot seemed like it was just trying to get through, um, just trying to go through. It wasn't trying to stalk anybody. Um, they just happened to when they got out of the tent, they happened to see it, and then it stopped, and it let them know, I'm here. But he was a little distance away, and it wasn't like he was standing um, just a couple feet away and then did his raw. But he was still close enough to where he knew he could let them know, I'm here, leave me alone. Yeah,
Right, because like before the interview and then during the interview, he kind of made that pointed of he felt like it was just walking by, walked up on the tent, kind of going, "What are you?
mm-hmm.
Why are you here?"
Yeah.
And then skirted around it to take off. So
yeah, I've had several animals when I've been out camping. They'll come up by the tent and they'll almost run into it because they're scurrying through the camp, and a lot of times they don't see it till they're right up on it. So I've had them run into the tent and then stagger off and just keep on going. And some of them will wait till I stick my head out the tent and look, and I see them stagger a little bit, and then they stop and they turn and they look, but then they're like, okay.
yeah, I've had deer and elk do that all the time. Well, they'll walk in a tent because either it's like, what is that? Why are you here? You weren't here yesterday, kind of thing. Or they might smell my gear or whatever. But yeah, they'll come right up to the tent, and do a huff, or like elk will like stomp a little bit, kind of go, I'm here.
Right. Chickadee says, if I remember right, Daniel didn't get an intense feeling of terror like some make you feel. Yeah, exactly. I
think he was scared because the size of the thing, but he wasn't terrified.
Right. Him being around large animals, that kind of takes your fear factor down just a little bit. But when you see something like that, it's like you freeze. You freeze because you've never seen anything like that, and it's like, but him knowing that, not knowing what it was exactly, but him knowing that it was a large wild predator because of its size and just the way it reacted before it took off. That's when those boys knew what they saw was something you don't want to mess with.
Exactly. Like if you go out in the woods a lot, like you'll come on cougars, sometimes bears, a wolf, or something like that. It's not if you're there a lot with those animals, number one, they're not going to attack you unless they have to, or they're really hungry. So it's more of like, you go that way, I'll go this way.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of just a one step above that,
Yeah.
where if you have a bear that's going to recharge you, that's terrified.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, she had a good point. He wasn't terrified. He was just very cautious. Put it that way.
Yeah. AI Mike says, I don't think we could outrun one. No.
No. With the stride those things have,
Yeah, I think they'd catch up with us a lot quicker than even a bear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they cover more ground, of course. But just the sheer fact of the power that they would have, along with the speed, yeah, we wouldn't stand a chance. That's why you really don't want to run from a Bigfoot. You don't want, just like you don't want to run from a bear. Now, getting down in a fetal position for a Bigfoot, I don't think that would be a smart thing. I think the thing to do would be to stand and show your presence. Just like if you're being approached by a mountain lion, you stand, you make your presence, and you make noise.
Well, yeah, you make yourself as big as possible.
Yeah, you make
like
yourself
if,
as big as possible.
Or a bear's not really false charging or anything else. He's huffing at you. You know, I think with this, number one, it's smart. Like if I felt he was aggressive, I would have no problem taking a knee to kind of go, I'm not messing with you, dude.
Right.
You know, because at that point, that's all you could do.
You know, knowing that they have some sort of language that, you know, we don't necessarily understand. If they can speak an organized language, then they should be able to understand, like Mama Bear Claw has mentioned before, you know, the sign language. They know sign language. They would have to know key words that have been used through the centuries. Pick things up like that. It's documented that some people have heard Bigfoot speak English.
Oh, right.
Actually, so I know that they're good mimicking creatures. I know they can mimic pretty much any animal in the animal kingdom.
Well, that's the thing. If they're observers like we think they are, that they can mimic because they study other animals.
Right.
You know, they study us. So saying they probably could say words or understand at least a couple words of what we're doing kind of makes sense. I mean, it's not out of the ballpark.
I mean, pretty much everybody knows the universal sign for hi, you know, you're hi. So I've actually heard stories about people coming across a Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot would actually wave hi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Especially juveniles. I've heard several stories about juvenile Bigfoot waving at people, kids and adults, both. So they had to have seen the interaction between people. So of course they had to have been watching us to know that when we approach someone, it's usually, hey, hi, how you doing? You know?
Right.
And when I personally had my first encounter, that's what I did. I looked up at the thing and I said, oh, hi, you know, and they just looked at me like, oh. I got a feeling like from the female Bigfoot, she kind of looked over at the male, and it was almost like, what's he doing here type of look. Because they were both wide-eyed, you know, just like same as me. I'm looking up at them with the same look, and then all of a sudden we're just like, I go, oh, hi, and then she's like, whoop, 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 to me, and then it was silence. I didn't know what to say afterwards because
well, understandable.
Yeah. So when Daniel is saying, when this thing turns around and it lets out that what do you say, shriek and roar, right, kind of a combination of all the above, where he just let it all out and just roar. Well, that's what the male Bigfoot did to me when he went to walk away. Turned and did the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's when I was just like, no, screw this. Go get my bat. That's all I can do is if I'm going to come back outside, I got to have some kind of protection, because I didn't even have a pocket knife on me or nothing. So like it would have done anything. I mean,
well, that kind of follows what he said then. probably just going, hey, don't follow me, leave me alone. You do
Mhm.
your thing, we'll do our thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And if you want to follow me, guess what? That roar was like, yeah, follow me, you'll find out. That's the feeling I got from that male Bigfoot was, um, he had enough. He had enough of standing right next to me. I mean, he wanted to go, "Yeah," you know, but she was like, nope, we ain't having that. And the exact same thing would have happened if there would have been two, um, instead of one in his encounter. One of them would have reacted a little bit different, more than likely, um, than it did. Because if you have one that's meaning business, you still have one that's kind of like, okay, let's control the situation. Let's get
Well, I
out.
kind of look at it also like if it's me and my wife or you and your wife, if we're going against something that I don't know whether it's a danger or not, I'm be like, come here, honey. And then I'm gonna let him know or it know. I was like, you better back off. And she's like, no, I know that is okay.
Mhm.
To me, it's more of that where you have the one that's trying to protect the family unit, and the other one's kind of like, nope, nope. He just a dude that walks around here.
Yeah, imagine if this thing had been um, watching them, because by the way he explained it, it probably wasn't standing around watching. It was just cutting through. So coming up on him and being surprised, and then like, okay, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm going. Um, but like in my situation, I I believe that the female was watching me over a month's period of time before the interaction. So
Well, yeah, because you said you kind of heard her and you had trees shake and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So you being a hunter, um, you go out and you observe the animals, and uh, you learn their mannerisms. You learn their demeanor. Um, so even a Bigfoot, watching from a distance, hiding, watching, they're going to do the exact same thing because their level of intelligence is pretty much equal to ours when it comes to things like that.
I think
Uh,
so. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
Because I mean, when I go hunting, I go out for weeks at a time before I go hunting for my area, and so I get to the point where I can actually walk in the meadow with the deer laying down. You know, you just don't make eye contact. You move real slowly, and you just kind of walk through. And after a while, they're like, "Oh, it's him again." He doesn't come at us. He doesn't mess with it. And they'll just sit there and watch him. And then pretty soon they'll just turn around and start eating again. You know? So I think animals normally do that anyways. And having something more intelligent, kind of understanding what you're doing. What's that? Oh, Pat.
Yeah, believe it or not, I used to have about 2, 3, 4 bats. I had the one that I grabbed was about yay big. Um, that was protection bat. That was for close combat. but
I agree
yeah.
with Romans too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Let's see, what does he say? I believe that they are so much more intelligent than people think. They're able to understand human language. After all, they have watched us for untold centuries. Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, like some people say, that Bigfoot was probably here before us. So um, we had to learn a lot from them, actually. If they were here before
sure.
us, we learned a lot from them.
Sure, and especially like just the stuff that researchers are finding out with like vines weaved into almost dream catcher like state, almost figurines, all the structures built. Is like they're making shelters. That takes highly intelligent to actually do that for either hunting blinds for a shelter, to cage in deer so they have to go one way for a death funnel. Yeah, I have no question that they've been doing this for a really long time. Breaking tricks or trees down, pointing towards river or hunting grounds and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can go into the woods and just off of a trail, you might see what looks like a crude one, but like a fence. You have 2 or 3 limbs that are all twisted around each other, and it's going low to the ground. And then you see it stop, but then you see another group of it continue on, and it goes in another direction. So they know how to mark their territory, and a lot of that is for us to see, saying, don't come in here. This somebody's
yeah,
here.
I get you. Yeah.
But then also with the other Bigfoot, because you'll see trees that have been uprooted and then shoved into the ground upside down. Markers. Those are markers. And then you have your tree bends where they bend the tree limb all the way over and stick it in the ground. There's it's up for debate what that is, but you'll notice when you go deep into a Bigfoot's territory, you'll see these things going just off of trails, just off of a trail, no matter if it's like a man-made trail or if it trails made by the animals. It'll be just off to one side, and you'll go walk underneath one, and then so much further down there'll be another one, and then you'll see little ones by it. Well, a lot of people have said that those are the way that they let other Bigfoot know how many Bigfoot are in that area, and whether they're a family or individuals. So if there's a whole bunch of the little ones, you've got infants all the way up to full grown. And
I do believe they have tribal markers depending where you're at. Like Richie Beat, you go through his place and it's like they'll have structures up, and then next month they'll be taken down and put up somewhere else, or they'll have an X here and then moved, or 4-wheelers will go through there and then they'll knock down trees over the top of the road. So I think they do abandon some of their structures or some of their markings. Like I've seen stuff that looks almost like blazing, where woodsman will take a knife or a hatchet and run it down the side of a tree to say, I went this way, so we can find his way back. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of stuff, and I don't think it's as static as a lot of people think. Like when they see a structure, like he's there all the time. It's like, not really. They can move around.
Right. Let's see what AI Mike says. He says, I've also questioned wood knocks. I think some are knocks, but some may be done with vocals for communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The wood knocks, there has been some discussion about if they're actually using a stick, or if they can actually make the noise with their mouth. I think it's kind of both.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I think the loud ones are with the stick, and the less loud or the big thunks are them actually doing it vocally.
Yeah. Of course, they're going to communicate like if we're out in the battlefield and we've got to communicate, and we don't have radios. Okay, if we don't have radios, how are we going to communicate? We're going to make some kind of noise. something that's not overtly obvious, So I could see, you go outside at night and you hear owls, and then you hear something that sounds a little bit like an owl, but not quite. And then you start hearing off in the distance the same thing. It's not quite an owl, but it sounds like it. Well,
it's something really trying really hard to sound like an owl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like around here, I get that all the time. We have a big owl that lives up in a tree right near our house. Okay, he goes off all the time. He's out there, but then you start hearing what sounds like an owl off in the dark over across the pasture. Sounds a little bit like an owl, but it doesn't finish like an owl, right? And then across the roadway in someone else's pasture where they got a whole bunch of trees, you start hearing 2, 3, 4 of them go off. I'm like, yeah.
I've heard a lot of like dog sounds like that. So it's trying to sound like a dog, but it's missing the harsh ending. So it's not a dog or a wolf or whatever.
Yeah, Mike says most of the time when I hear owls, it's going to be bad. Yeah, I think right here where I'm at, I think that it's mostly the juveniles that are doing the owl sounds. I know of at least 3, and they're the ones that make all kinds of noises, because I'll be out there and I'll hear it, and then I'll hear ones off in the distance. They sound a little bit different, a little more vocal and a little deeper. So I'm associating that with, okay, the juveniles are playing over here at my place, and the adults are over there saying, okay, thanks for letting us know where you're at.
A good possibility. Yeah.
I have all kinds of coyotes that come around, and it's weird when it would be a night where you would think a coyote is out, and you don't hear one coyote whatsoever. Not until probably 2, 3 in the morning. You go outside at 2, 3 in the morning, then you start hearing the yips, but they don't howl. So I've had several nights like that to where it's just completely dead quiet, and if the moon's full and things like a coyote's going to be prowling around looking for food, because
Sure. Yeah.
things are going to be lit up. So I have nights like that where they come right up to the fence. I've scared a few away that come up to the fence when I'm out there, and I'm like, good thing I have a fence, because I walk around the backside of that house and it's pitch black dark, and if I don't have a flashlight, I could walk right up on something that just decided to walk through the
Oh, sure.
fence.
Yeah. That's the other one is going out, and all of a sudden you hear like a pack of coyotes just like chirp off, like war's going on, and they're just like beat feet to get out of country.
Yeah. They can mimic anything, like Mike's granny's bell too. Yeah. I haven't heard them mimic a bell yet. I need to. That's one thing I need to do. I have a bell that I'm going to try doing that. Actually, that's a good little experiment.
Yeah, any experiment's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Especially when it's out of the box.
Yeah. Let's see. Got abnormal investigations. I have heard them mimic puppies, babies crying, cows, coyotes, owls. Yeah. That night that I did that live out here with the boys.
Yeah.
Kept hearing something off in that one corner over where the cows are. Right. Well, I went out there again a few nights later, and I had the same thing happen, but it didn't happen until I walked up there. I walked over to that one corner, and it was pitch black dark, and I decided I'm not going to turn my flashlight on. I don't want something to see me, even though that probably could see me. But I go over there to that corner, and the cows are asleep, and then all of a sudden I hear that. What we heard that one night was like a screech, and I'm thinking at that time, the first time I thought, could that be like a bobcat or a mountain lion? Um, well, I shined my flashlight over there when I went there the second time, and I shined the flashlight, and I accounted for every cow. I accounted for every cow that's over there, and every single one of them was asleep. The only place where this screech could have been come from was the barn that they have there. It's open face barn,
Right.
and it's facing the one direction, so you can't see into it. And whatever was screeching in there, it was amplified because of the walls.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm like, I can't see in there, so I can't account if they maybe had a calf that was laying in there, or a couple of calves that were laying in there. But I've never heard a calf. I've never heard them screech like that.
If it's the one that I'm thinking about, to me, it was almost like a bird of prey screech. It was odd, though. Which kind of explains if it echoed in the barn before it came out, why it was so odd. Yeah, still, I can't put my finger on that one.
It couldn't be an owl. I've never heard an owl do that. I've heard owl noises. I've heard their noises, and I've never heard it screech like that thing did. That was I'm still a little over that because don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want something. If it's a bird of prey, I don't want it flying up on me out from the dark. I've had to fight birds off before with their trying to claw me in the head. I had a hawk one time that dove from a power line, and he did that. He tried grabbing my head, and I grabbed his claws, and I pulled on him, and he was flap, and then he started pecking at my arm, so I had to let him go, but it didn't screech.
I had that with a snow owl. They're only like that big.
Yeah.
I heard something in the bushes, and I was over. I was like, "What is that?" And put my hand in there to move it, and he came out and just lit right on my arm. It was screaming and trying to bite me. I was just, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yes, Sparky. Did you see any of the footage from Abnormal Investigations' last video?
Not his last one. I've watched some of his prior ones when he goes out by himself.
Yeah, well, maybe I can bring him up here to talk about it, but he caught something. Me and Christy were watching it live, right? And towards the end of his video, he was talking into the camera, and the camera was facing his truck behind him, right? He was talking in it, and all of a sudden something walks in front of the truck behind him, but walks in front of the truck.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and we're like, Mike, go. Natural reaction is we weren't typing it at first. We were like, go, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, GOOO.
That's too funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up. I'm gonna post the link just in case anybody wants to come up and join us.
I think wasn't his last one. It was the second before his last one I watched. Where he was doing IR and something was in front of his car. It like popped out for a minute.
Yeah, that was the
Is-
last one. That was the where he uh, at
It
the
was in the
begin-
bog kind of thing.
Yeah, he went in the
Yeah.
bog. He says he has sore throat tonight. Sore throat. But yeah,
It wasn't me.
but no, y'all need to go back and if he has it posted still, I'm not sure, but um, you can go on his Patreon. I know he has Patreon. Go check that out on Patreon. But yeah, when me and Christy were on his show last night, we were going over the images that people had sent in. They took frame by frame and sent them into him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like not to get off track, but the Daniel's interview, he talks about not being able to see exactly what color it was, the creature was, and all. Well, like in Abnormal Mike's video, it was weird because every frame that creature was in, it was a different shape. Every single frame, it first appeared as if it was coming up from off of all fours, and then it was bipedal, and it first looked like it had like bunny ears, right? But then it turns its head, and then you see dog ears, right? And it looks like it has wearing a shirt, and then in the next frame, it looks shirtless, but it looks like a pregnant cryptid. And then the next
That's wild.
looks completely different, and then the next frame completely different till it goes out of frame.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's just the things you can catch when you're out in the woods with a camera rolling.
Yeah.
You never know. That's why I'm like, if I go out in the woods, I don't care what it's for. But even if I'm just going fishing, I'm taking a camera, and I'm gonna put my pole down every once in a while, and I'm gonna snap. Because that's just
I do
me.
that a lot.
To me, that's how I started. When I started on YouTube, I was in an area where I couldn't take video because being on government national park property, and you're not allowed to take video. You can take pictures, but you can't take video. So I would piece all my pictures together to make a video. That's how many pictures I took. I just stood there going snap.
Oh wow.
Yeah, slowly move and take pictures, and yeah. So
I've done that later on, like hunting and just taking photos of the area and stuff like that. Get back and you just look through them every once in a while. You can see like a coyote snout in the bush or something like that. It's like it's good to take them because you never know what you're going to find in them later.
Yeah, Sharon Guy. Yeah, Daniel. Let's see, who was she? But yeah, we don't judge anybody. If you want to come on the show and talk about your experience, we won't judge you. We listen to your story. We listen to what you have to say. We can form our own opinion on what you tell us, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're lying. It just means you have your story, and you want to tell it, and we're here to listen. We're here to listen, and we're here to help out. If you have questions about what you saw, maybe somebody in the chat, maybe somebody up here in the studio can help out with what questions you have. It's never about judging someone. It's about,
and everybody's not there. You're there, so you know what happened. The smells, the hears, all the stuff. It's like nobody could tell somebody else they're wrong because they weren't there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Respect every story that you hear, every story that you're told, and then
Open mind.
yeah, keep an open mind. If you have questions to ask the person that's telling the story, then ask the questions, because they might have an answer, or they might have more questions. But that opens up conversation, and conversation is good. Conversation helps something get resolved. Usually, helps something get resolved. It also opens up new doors.
Well, at that point, you can learn from each other.
Yeah, and that's what this community is all about, is learning. We sit up here and we talk to y'all, and we tell y'all stories from other people, and we give our own stories out, and it doesn't mean that we know everything. We're not experts. There's no experts in the world of cryptids. There's just experience.
Dang it! I thought I had that title. Now I have to find a different title.
Yeah, I've met a few people that actually said they were experts in the world of Bigfoot, and I'm like, no. I've had several encounters, and I'm no expert. I don't know what's going through the Bigfoot's head, except for what they tell me, what they show me, and what they tell me. Because I've been zapped. So I've had that little voice in my head that's like, yeah, don't go here, because
and that sucks.
And then getting sick from it. Yeah. So it doesn't make me an expert. It just means I've experienced these things, and I feel like I have to share what I went through, and that doesn't make me an expert. That just makes me part of the conversation. And I welcome anybody of all shapes and sizes. Come up here and tell your story. You can
just to prove that point, the live that Harold did, that he was talking about the call, the screech, there were several odd sounds in that video, on that live that I was in. I actually went live with him for a while. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that could be this, that could be that. And Harold's like, no, it doesn't sound like that in person. I'm like, okay, but we could have that conversation. Nobody got mad.
Right.
It was an open conversation of like, well, okay, possibly or not.
Yeah. I think we were on till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So finally I was like, nah, I got to get some sleep.
Every time I'm on with you, I make you run late. Do you notice that? There's something about that.
Yeah. No, it's just, we get caught up in conversation because, we have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I could sit here all night and talk if I didn't get tired, but and then having somebody be like, I'm tired, it's time to go to bed.
I get that way.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bring up that map if you have it. Show people that they didn't quite get to see it. Kind of the area where he was, where Daniel was talking about. But before we bring up the map, I'm going to show everybody. This is the picture he was talking about with the horses. And you notice you got some that are alert to something. They hear something, they get alert. Of course, that's him riding the horse in the back, and they're going up the trail. But yeah. Let me get that comment off. Let's see. So we have.
Yeah, I find it real fun, interesting. Both pack horses, ears are back. They're looking. The horse in the back, ears are straight forward, and he's looking in that direction. And then the front horse actually has his head all the way down, like he was eating, and he's turning it up with his ears back.
Yeah. Oh, Christy's back. Let's see. Yeah, and then the other picture.
I love that one.
Yeah, I love the view of that mountain in the background. But yeah, that gives you an idea of what he was up against going on horseback. I just see myself walking into that tree line.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I have a nasty habit. Even if I go camping, I'll spend like a full day just like going over every inch of ground for like a mile. Just keep, because you never know. You find some really cool stuff sometimes. You find some weird structures and stuff.
Yeah. Looks like we got Daniel wanting to come up.
Nice.
He's here.
You're schmuckish.
Hey guys, I'm listening to you. I just wanted to let you know that I have a friend that had an orchard up in Parkdale by the base of Mount Hood that had a phenomenal experience in his life with a family of 3 individuals living in his orchard, and I'm trying to convince him to go to you.
Oh,
but
yeah?
he's very shy, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but if I do, I'll let you guys know.
We'll let him know. Sparky lived in Washington State, and I was on an apple orchard, and one of our friends had his orchard right butted up against the mountain and had the same thing. So,
listen, I know this one is real because I know him, and of course, I believe. But he actually had a male, a mother, and a juvenile live in his property for about 8 years and interact with him for a long time.
Oh, wow.
And I'm trying to get him to talk to you, but the story is so phenomenal that it's always been very shy because most people don't believe. So I'm trying to convince him. I'm going to send him the one you did with me, etc., and hopefully he'll agree.
Tell him that he's more than welcome to get in touch with either of us, actually.
Absolutely. I'll let him know,
Harold,
guys.
What do you think, Harold? Could you actually pre-record that and then send him it so he can watch it first and say, okay, that's a good one?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is, I can access it in YouTube, and I'm going to send it. I'm going to send him a link, and I'm going to call him tomorrow again. I called him yesterday, and I'm going to call him tomorrow again, and try to. He sold that place now, but if you look at the territory, is the very last orchard still within the town of Parkdale, and after the back of his orchard, he had 40, 50 acres. After the back of his orchard, you're in the mountain already. So it's very wild country. Oh, wow. I'll let him know. Hopefully he'll agree.
Yeah. Just give him my contact information.
I absolutely will.
Yeah. And tell him I'd be glad to hear from him.
You made me stay past my bedtime, guys. So
Hi, Daniel. It's good to see you again.
How are you, sweetie? Yes, thank you.
I'm good. A lot better than I was the first day I met you.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, everybody in chat that I missed.
What's that now?
Oh, I was saying hi to everybody in chat that I missed.
Yes. All righty, dear. All right, guys.
All right, Daniel. It's great to hear
Thank you,
from
sir.
I'll keep you posted, or I'll give your contact for him to try to contact you if he decides.
All right.
All righty. Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
You guys
Thank you.
take care.
Yeah, you
Bye.
take
Night.
care.
Go ahead. What were you saying? Did you say anything?
Oh no, just take care. It was great hearing from you again.
Yeah.
We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed having you on.
Thank you very much. And good night, everybody out there that I know you're there listening. Have fun. You
All
take
right.
care.
All right.
I'll
Good
leave you
night.
now. Going to bed now. Bye-bye.
Good night.
He's such an awesome guy.
Oh
Very
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yep, everybody, that was Daniel Gonzalez.
I didn't know he was coming in.
Nope.
He surprised
Yep.
me. Woohoo! It's fun.
He told us that was his bedtime, and
Yeah.
7 o'clock was his bedtime, and he was going to go to bed.
Well, it's.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
I don't know
Yeah.
what time it is where he's at, but it's past his bedtime, like majorly.
Yeah.
But that's cool. We're so cool. That is so awesome. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like Daniel was talking about, he knows somebody that had some experiences happen, just like that. You can get a hold of me. You can get a hold of Sparky. You can even get a hold of Abnormal Investigations. All the time, all of us are we'll welcome you with open arms if you got something to let everyone know about.
I don't know. Cornbread, he's kind of sketchy sometimes.
And if you want to stay anonymous, we don't have to give your name. We just tell your story. You don't have to have
Jesse
names.
said me too.
Yeah, and Jesse, Arcane Paranormal World, same thing. If you have a story you want to talk about, you can get in contact with her, and she has her show on Friday nights.
Did I see MT Paranormal in here?
I don't know.
Is Mike Tornacosta in here? Mike, are you in here? Hi, Mike. I saw. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay, I thought
MT.
I saw him, but
MT, good to see you, man.
woohoo! Sorry, squirrel. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Put that link up here again. Maybe
Cornbread will come in.
he said he's got a sore throat.
Sure, talking to on the phone all night. I bet. If it's not a sore throat, it's a migraine. But we still love you, there, Cornbread.
I'm not going to say what I said again. I'm just not gonna.
Oh, okay. When I'm gone, I miss a lot of things. So
Yeah, we got about 25 minutes left in the show. So if anybody
we're
wants
only
to,
doing until 10 o'clock, until 10:30.
I
It'll be
guess-
a 2-hour show.
yeah, I guess we can go till 10:30.
I mean,
If
I don't
that's all right
care.
with you,
I was
Sparky.
just like,
Yeah, that's fine, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You want to go over
go
that map while somebody comes in?
yeah. Let's do that. We'll show everybody the track that he showed us
yeah,
again.
sure.
Um,
There. Is it better?
But yeah, go ahead and click on that link if y'all want to come up here in studio with us and
Get crazy.
yeah.
I accidentally
crazy
drank
with this.
out of Sparky's drink. Sparky, what are you drinking?
Oh no, he did. Just some stuff.
Some stuff.
Jack.
Did he just say Jack at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's got the spirits.
Nice.
He's summoning the spirits.
Let me put on my makeup before I join. Okay, MT. I think you would look cute with some pink lipstick. Just saying.
I have no makeup on. It's fine.
I'm sorry, but I actually did put a little makeup on tonight because my face was all blotchy and sweaty and bleh. Sorry. But like anybody else needs to know that. Oh well. It's live. Who cares? Everybody's laughing at me. Good. That's what she's.
That's what she said.
Oh my gosh. Where's the map?
I'm waiting for the map. Harold's over there just chuckling.
Oh, I got to bring it up. Duh.
I was like, I put it there like 5 minutes ago.
All right, let's see.
So, this is the Devil's Lake pullout. I think he's talking about where they parked.
Yeah.
And then the trail goes off this way. So if you zoom all the way out, this is the south volcano called the South Sister.
Yeah.
So they basically leave here and they go all the way around. And he said he went over several like lava fields, which looked like that area, and through here.
Yeah,
And
he mentioned going through that one area down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the middle sister is here, and then the north sister is up there. And he recommended he was just past this.
Yeah.
In this area over here somewhere.
So that's
which
all
I can
now.
zoom in for you.
Yeah, it's 3 volcanoes.
Yeah, there's 3 of them in a line.
Yeah. He said it's pretty rough terrain.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I mean, he walked us in about where all the paths are and everything else.
Yeah.
He walked us right in.
Yeah.
So that squiggly line the path?
Yep.
Oh.
Where's the top one? What's there? So it's like the south is here, then the middle's here, and then the other one's up here.
Yep.
And then if you go all the way out, Bend, Oregon is over here, and Eugene's over this way.
Yep.
So is all the green stuff forest land then? I'm asking because I don't know. Oh, yep. Never
all
mind.
this.
Yep.
That's the big wilderness area.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain.
That in itself would be something to walk
I don't
through.
look
Yeah.
like a parallel forest. It's only a way.
Very cool area, though.
Oh, yeah.
I could get lost. Easily.
I'm still amazed how accurate he was when he described it to us. When I pulled up the map and I was trying to figure out what he was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
once we found his starting point, it was so freaking accurate.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It's like he'd been up there a lot.
Even at one point, he was trying to pinpoint where he said there was the cabin.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause they have these cabins along trails. They're like open face, and any hiker, anyone on horseback, when you're traveling, going on the trail, you have a place to bed down for the night, and you feel kind of safe because you're within a 3-wall structure.
Explain to me what an open face. Does that mean that one of the walls is not there, and so any critter
Right.
can come?
Like-
Yeah, not happening. Oh heck no. Bigfoot walk right in there.
Oh.
Sparky, are you muted, Bubba?
Yeah, you got muted.
So if you think about a woodshed, you have 2 sides and a back, and then you have a sloping roof, but the
Like
whole
a
front is open.
lean-to?
Kind of, but it has walls on it. It's not just a
Yeah,
peak.
it's a full structure, but without the face.
It's meant for getting out of snow, getting out of like rain, wind, all that kind of stuff.
Perfect opportunity for a Bigfoot to go like this to you.
Yeah, kind of like the barn over here
Yeah.
where the cows laying. It's open face. There's no front.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, cow barns. Yeah.
Perfect thing for the Bigfoot to come and eat you.
The volcano's peaks look really dry, not many trees. Yeah, most volcano tops don't have trees on them, either because of the soil or because of the altitude.
All right, I'm going to bring MT Paranormal up during the conversation.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chickadee. I'm so glad someone agrees with me.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
How you guys doing?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, dude.
What's up?
Yeah, I don't know if you got to watch the video of the man that we interviewed, Daniel Gonzalez. He had a Bigfoot encounter back in 1989, and he wanted the world to know about it. So he's a really, really interesting guy, and he went in depth on his whole encounter. It was
Was that who you were talking to a little bit ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, we kept him up past his bedtime.
Oh, what the hell?
I was going to say, who has a bedtime? But obviously Daniel does. I get it. But other than, yeah. How you doing, Mike?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
Pretty good. A little tired, but
I'm good, I think.
Hello, everyone in chat.
Huh? Oh, it said hello to everyone in chat.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Are we done with the map? Can we pull that down now?
yeah,
I want to look at something else.
yeah. Let me pull that down. So MT, what you got going on?
Well, not too much lately. I've been catching up on some things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got the videos from the visit over at Long Island. We visited Mike, Long Island Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Spent a few days there and did some filming with him, and had some really cool things happen there.
Oh yeah. I was able to watch a little bit of it.
Yeah, the last part of it will be public. The last video will be public Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's that one had one of the most interesting kind of like rock. I call it like a rock throw anomaly, even though the sound it sounded like a rock throw, but it didn't behave like a rock throw. Like you'll see it in the video.
Yeah.
It sounded like an impact, but it was like a light impact, but it was very audible, just like a clack. And it was like a foot next to me, and I heard it, and I looked, and I saw a rock there, and they've got like I'm trying to think what kind of rock it is there. It's
You're talking like if a flat rock hits a flat rock, that clacking noise?
Yeah, it was like a rock on rock impact that you heard, right? Like not like a solid ground rock impact, not like a thud, but like a clack.
Right.
And then there was the kind of rock that's in that area is like it's like a glassy kind of rock. That's in that area of New York where we were at in Long Island. I'm trying to think what kind of rock it is. But I found there was a rock next to me right where I heard the sound, which was, like I said, maybe a foot from me.
Oh wow.
And it was audible, but it was kind of like a light but audible clack next to me. And I picked the rock up and I tried to imitate the sound by dropping it on the ground, and it was very close, but I dropped it very lightly from like a few inches from the ground.
Oh yeah.
So to me, that was one of the strangest like occurrences like that I think I've had, because I've documented some really strange rock throws, some intense rock throws that come flinging, smacking trees, and you can hear them. And that was the second one that night. Well, one other one sounded like it just hit an impact against a tree, but that one was just one of the strangest because it was very audible. You can hear it, and you just hear it just tap, just clack right next to me.
I've seen some of the
what the heck is that?
I've seen some of the y'all's videos where you have the rocks being thrown at you, and it pretty intense.
That almost sounds like a underhanded toss. Like they didn't throw it; they kind of like tossed it in.
Right. Well, here's what's strange though: is like there was no other sounds. There was not a hit, a tumble, no sounds of anything moving through the air. This was just like the rock came up, tapped on the ground, and just that was it.
Oh, wow.
And that's why it was so, of all the things, this was so strange to me, because it's almost like it just had this light tapping sound on the ground directly next to me. And I can't quite, like, to recreate it. You literally just, if you could drop the rock maybe a few inches from the ground and let it hit where it was at, it sounded like it. But it can't bounce. Yeah, it can't bounce. It has to literally just drop and hit and stop.
Right.
And that was strange that that happened right next to me.
Right.
I couldn't. It's hard to even reproduce it, but I kind of did.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's strange.
I've had rocks thrown in my direction, but never like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard
I've had like
whiz by.
I've had rocks. I've had like rocks tossed, There's no way I could pick it up and move it, but I've never had something like that. That is really odd.
Yeah, and it's so subtle, but yet to me it seemed to be one of the strangest things that I've encountered, because it was so close to me, but it made just such a solid, distinct sound that was just very distinctly like unique. Like, that was the only sound it made, was one clack that was not too loud but not very soft, and it's very hard to reproduce. And nothing else, like no tumble, like I said, no tumble. So like it's so out of place, so strange. Like, I don't see how it could have been made naturally. Is kind of what I to me that was the biggest thing, is I don't see how it could have happened naturally.
Right.
Well, it got your attention, didn't it?
Yeah, I could I could show it to you if you want to see it, because I made a short out of it, and it's gonna be out real soon. So it's not like I'm it's not like I'm breaking some kind of video code to show you.
I'm sure everybody would like to see that.
That's pretty interesting. We find it.
I was hoping LIB would be in here. Did it show up tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Did LIB show up in here tonight?
Nope.
No, it's just mine.
I had to look you up. I wasn't subbed you. Now I am.
Oh, all right. Thanks. Thank you.
I would be posting links, but my phone is like at 2%, and yeah.
All right. Guys. Here's what I'll do. I'll show this here. Let me come back.
Yeah, he's morphing like mad right now.
There we go.
Your phone is so glitchy, I'd be afraid to touch it.
All right. All right, I put it up in the present there. This is the spoiler. I kind of made a little spoiler, which I don't even know if I'm gonna actually show the spoiler for it, because the actual video will be out in a couple of days. Oh, yeah. So, but it shows that interaction, so you can just kind of watch the whole thing. I guess it's only, I think it's like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Here, my hand to the left.
Message.
You have a message? What's your message?
And dead new love.
And dead need love. Wow, that's interesting. On 1, 2, 3.
Hi.
Hello. Did you hear my knock? Did you hear that sound?
We will.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right there. You heard it?
Is there anyone out here that can do something really loud to let us know they're here? Make some loud noise somehow?
He never hears.
I never hear.
Added capabilities.
Added capabilities. What kind of capabilities? What can you do? Wait, I heard that. Yeah. Sounded like something hit a tree or hit the ground. Something just hit the ground over here. It could have been this right here. Here, listen to it. Something like that. That was it right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me go back to it. See if you can hear it. Ground. That thump right there. Something hit the ground. Something just hit the ground over here. That was when it hit the ground next to me.
So did it just to get
It
your
could have been this. Let me go ahead and back out here.
That looks like shale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike said what it was. That I got music playing over that too. It's a little harder to hear the audio, but in the the actual video, there won't be the music playing. You can hear all the audio better. He says what kind of rock it is during it, and it's like a glassy rock. It has it has a real echoey, clanky sound when it hits.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things when it's come to like interactions with rocks and things that I've come across yet. And it was one of the most subtle, which is really one of the things that I never thought would be the most interesting, and it ends up being being that way.
Yeah. Yeah, usually when y'all have a rock thrown at you on your videos, it's usually at directed pretty much right at somebody. Not saying that they're aiming for you, they're just aiming in your direction.
Yeah. I know, like at the place we call the swamp, that's where the most intense ones have happened.
Yeah.
And those ones were both captured on video, filming there. And those ones were big rocks, and they had some velocity and really hit hard, ricocheted. Those are some really crazy captures.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Before. But yeah, those were interesting. We had some controversy. Anybody who remembered seeing those, of course, when you capture something like that on video, man, the trolls are going to come out of the woodwork. Some people are going to come out and they're going to start slinging mud at you. And yeah, I started trolling the trolls, and I started playing CSI, and
Oh my god.
yeah, I remember all that. That was crazy. Trying to show people, because people didn't believe it, and they tried claiming it was a hoax, and and I was there, and I was trying to say, people didn't see all the things that were in front of them, saying, this wasn't a hoax. You're not paying attention to the clues. They're trying to say one of the guys threw it, and
right.
I did like an actual 2-part video to debunk them, showing them that it was impossible for the guy to throw the rock.
Yeah,
that's how I was angry. I was really angry, because I'm like, people aren't seeing.
Yeah, I was in the chat for that live.
What we were seeing.
I was in the chat for that live, and I saw that thing come out of nowhere, and the velocity it had on it. Since I had that happen to me once before that, I'm like, yeah, that I went through the same thing. That thing coming through the air. I had 2 other people with me, and something out in the woods threw a rock and threw it behind us. We were just ahead of where the rock landed behind us, and I had happened to snap a picture of it in mid-flight, and that rock was about like that coming, and it landed probably about 3 feet behind us, and that's when we knew something was telling us move.
Yeah, I always wondered what, like, the at that particular place with the 2 rock throws at the place we called the swamp. Both times it was in the presence of Trapper, when Trapper was with the cameraman and myself. The one was directed towards him and I, and the other one was directed towards him directly. And we always wondered if it meant something to that effect, because maybe since he was by me the first time, maybe it was directed towards him both times, and I just happened to be there the first time by him. But the second one, the rock's still there. We actually keep an eye on it whenever we go back there. That rock's still there. I think I measured it before. It's like it's a little over 2 pounds. It's I'm trying to remember the measurements on it, but it's it's a big rock, man. It's like
a 2 pound rock flying through the air.
It's like freaking. It's bigger than a potato. It's like 2.5 inches by 5.5, I think. It was a big. It's a big rock, man. You should if you see it when it hits the tree, that thing slugs the tree, man. It was just hauling from somewhere and just it goes right by him, wings right over him and smacks the tree.
They were trying to make a point.
You had to be pretty strong to hurl a rock that size.
Oh yeah,
that far away to hit a tree.
Right. And then that's why, like, man, get me started on this thing about how they said Trapper threw it. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, the dude's he's got a camera on a stick and a flashlight in each hand. And you're gonna say he threw this, 2 pound rock that's that big with the same hand over his own head, right past him, to hit a rock that was in front of him, or a tree in front of him. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then you watch his footage, and what the trolls were saying about that, that totally debunks it if you just watch Trapper's footage.
Yeah,
he's got his hands full.
Right. I mean, it's hard enough, like, for me grasping what's happening, because I've never really, I've heard some things hit trees before. I've had some experiences where it seems like things have been thrown or objects have hit stuff around, but the rocks at the swamp, that's the first time where I've seen it. Where I've seen it come ricochet. Yeah.
Michelle has a question of what light did you use to light up the area red?
Oh, it's I don't know if you've ever heard of the company. They're called O-Light. But I use one. It's called a Marauder Mini.
They are great.
Yeah, the Marauder Mini is the one that has the 3 light spectrums plus the white. It's got the RGB, red, green, blue, and I use the red. I love red. I use the red all the time.
Yeah.
When the cameraman captured the entity in the red light when he was doing a live stream at Claim 3, it opened my eyes to the possibility of the red light spectrum showing things that I don't think you would have seen with white light. That I'm speculating on that, but being that the red light exposed it in a way that I think you wouldn't have seen it in another spectrum. But ever since then, I started using the red light plus. Hunters have been using it for a long time, and if you've ever noticed red light, how well it exposes eye shine, it really helps you keep a good eye on what's out there watching you.
I carry like 4 little red pin lights. They're pretty bright. I just put them around my camp, facing into like where the bushes are and stuff. And as soon as something coming in, you could actually pop them out real easy. I mean, they're easy to see.
Yeah, I love the red light. I use it a lot.
Yeah, I have just the headlamp red light, and I'll occasionally switch that over. Like you said, you look into the tree line, you can actually see, even if it's just the smallest animal, you can catch that eye shine.
Yeah, red lights are great for that, man. You see that red light. Yeah, you see those eyes. You see eyes really, really good with red.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Jess. Let's see. So did you catch a whole lot of EVPs this last time out?
I think there was one strange Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? There was one really really strange EVP, and I believe it was an EVP and not some kind of disembodied voice or some kind of background noise, because if you hear the audio, it's extremely loud, but I apparently didn't hear it. And I that's why I'm pretty sure this was some kind of EVP that wasn't audible at the time. That's one that I think you guys want to hear too, because this was in New York as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when you hear this, and somebody pointed out something that they thought they heard, and when I listened to it, I'm starting to hear it as well. It sounded, I got to look at the comment again. Somebody just pointed out that they said like that it was saying, get away from here or stay away from here is what they heard. And when I re-listened to it, is I believe I hear it now when I listen to it again.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
But I can bring that up because you probably, I think you guys would like to hear this, because this one was one of the best things that I think I managed to capture while I was here, when I was there in New York.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time up there visiting LIB. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mike's he's funny dude.
Yeah.
We get along really well. We're online all the time too. We get together in like Discord and we're online playing games and stuff sometimes in a group.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me bring this up on here.
Yep. Y'all get a chance, go and check out Long Island Bigfoot.
Oh, I haven't posted that link.
That's who we're talking about. LIB.
Let me get there. Posting everything else links.
All right, I dropped it in on the share.
All right. Let's see.
Listen to this. This is wicked. When you hear this, you probably will think that this is probably an EVP, because I did not hear this at the time.
I hate you.
Oh, I just got a bad feeling about that one too.
I hate you.
Oh, I just got a bad feeling about that one too. Now, were you able to hear that? I don't know if it's loud enough. Could you hear that in the background? It sounds like something's. I don't know if you want to say some kind of elevated vocal or something's yelling, or somebody said it sounds like somebody saying, "Get away from here," is what somebody said. It sounds like they're yelling or saying, and when I listen to it more and more, that's kind of what I hear.
Or maybe get out of here.
Mike,
something like
Abnormal Investigation says I've had that same EVP.
Something, this says like something like that. And
honestly, it has that whispery voice you get with EVPs. And when I first heard it, I thought it said, "You're dead," is what I thought it said, with a vocal going up and down. But it's hard to tell. It is so whispery.
I would have to listen to it with my headphones on.
Yeah. I don't know if I can adjust the volume on my end anymore on it. I don't think I can.
That's a good one, dude. That's a really good one.
I'll play
Let's
it
see
again.
if I can turn it up a little bit.
I'd let it play.
Yeah.
I'll play it again.
I hate you.
Oh, I just got a bad feeling about that one too. That device that I use, it's called Transcend Theory. It's an app that was created by Stephen Huff from Huff Paranormal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you've never heard of it before, there's a lot to it, but it is a total 100% undebunkable device that's used for spirit communication. The words and phrases that come through are not in some kind of database like that. It doesn't have a database of words and phrases. So things that come through are actually pieced together out of letters. So that's why I use it, because when you hear words like that one was kind of, whatever that was not very nice or happy. It said, I hate you, but you heard I hate you come through it. So a spirit, or I believe even higher entities or entities can use it. Something made it out of letters say that.
Yeah.
But that's where that I hate you came from my device.
Wow.
I hate you.
Oh, I just got a bad feeling about that one too. Also, I'm using what's called a Phasm cam. This is a full spectrum camera that's made for no light. So it's an IR cam and it's full spectrum. I do have my red light on. That's why it's kind of a mix of the purple, which is the full spectrum, and that's the ultraviolet mixed in with the IR. So that's why it kind of looks purplish and red. I was kind of testing it out that night. That's why it looks like it's got all these purple and red colors to it right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty creepy sounding, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That being out there and hearing that would be a little.
That's the thing. I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I think it was an EVP, because when I was reviewing it and editing it, I heard that and I'm like, whoa, I'm like, what the hell was that? And I listened to it and I'm like, how did I not hear that? And then I'm like, tell me that was an EVP. I'm like, it had to have been, because I was like, would have heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Now having it louder, it does sound like there's at least 3 words in there. But man, if I could, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Very cool catch, though. Very cool catch.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
Sounded like run.
Yeah, and people wonder, like, people wonder, like, why the heck does somebody do paranormal investigating outdoors? Like I'm some kind of like, black sheep or something. People always ask me that, and I'm like, you have no idea. But like when you hear the EVPs and things I've captured, I'm always like, why the heck do you just go indoors? That's kind of my question,
Yeah.
And you hear the things and see the things that I've captured, like I think a lot of it has to do with you personally and the people you're with. But I think a lot of the things it's about you.
Yeah. Like when me and Christy went out to the parallel forest, and we had 2 incidences where we didn't hear it when we were there, but the growling that was going on when we found the uprooted trees, and then towards the end of the video when we were getting ready to leave, something growled in my ear, and I didn't hear it then. She didn't hear it, but we played it over the video, and sure enough, so
yeah,
I can vouch for that, Mike. Like you said, why not use it outdoors? The same thing happens outdoors that happens indoors.
Right. There's a guy, Watts. So last name Watts. He wrote that Forest Poltergeist book. It was a really good book, and he makes the argument about the things that happen outside and poltergeist activity indoors, and a lot of the comparisons. He makes the argument as to who's to say, or is it possible kind of scenario that poltergeist activity can't occur out in the forest. And he started talking, he referred to a lot of the BFRO reports and comparing things that have been documented with poltergeist cases, things that happen indoors. Structures are one of them. Believe it or not, like a lot of poltergeist cases have a lot of similarities with structures being built inside houses from poltergeist. And rocks being thrown, objects being thrown. So his whole book was about this comparison and, about how, not putting yourself in a box. And his book resonated with me a lot, because even before I read it, he was kind of on par with how my whole idea and concept of what I am doing kind of mirrored, and my whole outlook on things, you know.
Yeah. I don't get people to say, don't go outside in the woods or on property to actually research, because it's like there's too much stuff that happens there. Like historically wise, people talk about, you know, people walking across fields and to forest, all that kind of stuff. The suicide forest. It's like you can't say it doesn't happen.
Right.
And it's easier, and you don't have to pay money to go in a building.
Well, that's a whole, like, there's a whole thing about that. Like, I still think that, I definitely think there is possible connections to trauma to location. I do think so. So I'm not saying that people aren't wrong by going to places where things have happened, even in buildings, you know, where people maybe have died or tragedies have happened. But then I do think that this connection, you know, like you want to call it the spirit realm, the ether, it's like an overlay of like a higher dimension. And I think we're always in contact with it at all times. And I don't think it's just something that involves the afterlife or spirits. I think it's higher entities, beings that actually do, in one form or another, I think, move between higher dimensions and this. One which I have seen, and I don't know what it is to this day.
Yeah.
In size, statute-wise, it tends to fit into what the traditional size of Sasquatch is, but I really don't know if that's what I've seen or not. But still, I think that there's something to higher dimensions and our own, that overlay, but we are on a smaller plane that we don't recognize it, we don't see it, but it's there.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, that's something that is all around us all the time, and that's why I think these things come out, and you'll run into them, and you won't expect it, you won't even know, because it's something that we just aren't always, you know, we're not aware of it.
Good night, AI Mike. Good to see you in the chat. Hope your throat gets feeling better.
He said it was good to see Sparky and MC Paranormal as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I told him a little bit about y'all.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah.
AI, oh, that's Abnormal Investigations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I subbed to them too.
He's in Northeastern Oklahoma.
Northeastern.
Yeah. Okay.
Craziness.
Let's see.
I'm going to drop his link too.
Yeah. Michelle says, I found out that poltergeist is most active in a home if there's a prepubescent child in a family.
Seems like that's what a lot of those documented cases seem to show.
Yeah.
The Black Monk and the more famous ones, I think, the Tennessee Witch. Seems like a lot of them seem to relate to that.
Yeah.
The only real poltergeist activity that ever seems to show up is out in the forest. These rocks.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Mike. Out of all the investigations you've done so far, which one has messed with you to the most? Like, has made you get chilled to the bone?
Or do you even have one? Do you have a most creepy story or
Well, I think
whatever. I mean,
I think West Branch. That's where I had the sighting of whatever the thing is that I've seen.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
And West Branch overall just has always left me with a strange feeling there.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe because I spent a lot of time there by myself. Yeah. Somehow that's different for some reason. I don't know why, but
I saw the picture of that you posted when you were doing the West Branch, and that creature that's out ahead of you.
Yeah, the one I talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was pretty freaky. I mean,
that was when the whole game changed for me because, like, my whole past experience was about, my first real personal experience was something talking to me through my phone.
mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
That was like,
Freaky.
yeah, like, I always had a curiosity of like watching paranormal stuff on TV, like Ghost Adventures, and I was always like, seeing these things happen is always curious. Like, wow, is this really like, just a curiosity of like, are there really ghosts out, there? You see the things that they've captured and you're always like, wow, that's cool. And I always had a curiosity. And then weird stuff started happening in my house just randomly after years of being there. And
the funny thing when I saw that creature, the picture of that creature, I was like looking at it real close, and I'm like, that oddly. Now this is funny.
Thermal?
I'm not meaning for it to be derogatory or anything, but I'm like, looks like a pup and stuff character.
Was it the thermal you're talking about?
Yeah. When you had the thermal, and it was that big-headed creature.
Those were from the cameraman's thermals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, West Branch.
Yeah. I was like, I saw something like that. Like, it looked like a puff and stuff character, but it's right there in the forest, and it doesn't look like a puppet. It looks like an actual living, breathing creature.
The heat signature is definitely a very warm, hot, like bipedal something is what it looked like. Amber, hi Amber. No, that was actually just a few day thing for the Long Island area. That was a friend of ours lives in Long Island Bigfoot.
I did drop this.
We were visiting there. Yeah, those and there's a bunch. Like the cameraman took a lot of thermals there, and there's some, he captured some extremely strange. Some of them don't look like that. Some of them look crazy looking. Like, I don't know, whatever they are, but they were forming. They like form differently.
Yeah. For those that don't know, MT Paranormal is based out of Ohio.
Yeah, like Northeast Ohio, like Portage County.
Yeah,
I do most of my stuff over in Portage, Summit County.
Yeah, it's been a lot of paranormal and Bigfoot and dogmen sightings all throughout Ohio.
Well, I tell you what, though, of all the stuff that I'd say, I'd challenge anybody, if you want to actually see something that somebody captured on video of anything, of something that is not a human, that is actually some kind of an entity that somebody captured real time on video that you can go see right now, go look at the thing in the red light that the cameraman captured on his live stream. We call the Jelly Man, because people were always like, people want to say there's nothing out there, they're not sure, they're always like, how they downplay stuff, they're like, there's not, people don't believe there's things out there and they want to see it, and then people always say, well, you've never seen evidence, and he captured it live on a live stream of all times.
Yeah. And
there it is. You can see it. I don't know.
That's cool.
It's called, what was it called? I'm trying to think of the title of his video. It was like Confronting Bigfoot at Claim 3 live stream.
Oh, wow.
It was about a year ago or so. But if you scroll through the live streams on the cameraman and crew, you just scroll down to Confronting Bigfoot at Claim 3 on the live stream, and I think there's a timestamp in the comments for that spot I put. But you'll go through and you'll see it. It comes up to him and he turns in his red light, and there it is. This thing just comes right up to him. And I mean, heck with it. You want to see it? I'll show it to you right now. I got it clipped.
Oh, let's go.
You want to see this? I'm telling you, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And of course, this was the weekend. Like I did visitation with my kids every other weekend, and this is the weekend I wasn't able to go with them there that weekend. I wasn't able to film with them, so I was watching and I saw this live and I was freaking out. I saw it and I'm like, I'm jumping around like, what the hell was that? I clipped it and I was just freaking out. I gotta go back through here and get this.
All right.
You know he was cussing, going, "I should have been there."
I was in the chat like freaking out. I'm like, I clipped it. I'm like, you have to see it. I'm like, you know, WTF was that? But yeah, and you know, to me, this is like if anybody is on the ropes about what's out in the forest, when you see this, you'll know something like this might float up to you sometime while you're just chilling.
Well, number one, if they don't believe it, they haven't been out in the forest that long, or have not talked to their grandfathers or great grandfathers.
Well, you know what? Like, how often does this really happen? You know, that's the thing is like you hear about this stuff happening, right? I've heard about, you know, you may have seen some video. It seems like everything's elusive. That's what I always say. Like things like this are elusive. You always hear about the stories, and you're always like, man, I'm just never lucky enough, right? Like this stuff never happens to me. You know, never happens to me. I've never seen it. Like, you know, everything's elusive. It's hiding. You hear the vocals. There's a shadow. It's like just the, you know, the $1 million reveal just never happens to me. And then here it is on a live stream. Boom, comes right up the jack. Like, hey, what are you?
I always call it winning the lottery, because basically you're winning the lottery if you have a camera in your hand and it happens.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Here it is. And the title of my clip of this is "What the hell is that?"
All right.
Okay. I think I've got it. Yep, presented. There you go. All right. You ready for this? Here you go.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
There it is. Right there.
Oh, wow.
See it twinkling?
Yep.
Here, let's watch it again.
Is it like an orb?
Yeah, you see it right there. The hole from the ground up to about. Yeah.
Right there.
What the heck?
Wow.
What the hell is that? Is that what it is? Right here. Right here.
It's like it kind of comes out of a.
Look at it right here. It's like transparent, and it's got these twinkly things around it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
So I'll ask the standard question: was that, or that could that have been spider webs hanging off that tree with fluff and crap in it?
Well,
it doesn't look like it, but could have been.
That's a tough one.
Did he walk down through there?
See, like this is what I'm not like sure of. Like I don't know. I've walked through here before. What I don't get, like the thing about like that with me is this whole outline of this.
Right.
That's where like if like, you know, because I've been through this whole place a bunch of times, through the woods, you know, a whole lot, and I've come across spider webs, and the only thing I don't get is like,
if you look at it right there, we're backing up just where you had it before. I asked the question just because I know somebody's going to think it.
Oh yeah.
What had me really questioning this, at first I thought, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of spider webs that's clogged down a bunch of crap. As it turns, it's not straight down off that tree, because it gets space as the camera comes around. So it's away from the tree.
Right.
Yep.
There.
But it kind of manifests before that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be spooky to run into out in the forest for sure.
See, kind of manifests.
I'd go give it a kiss.
Right there. Oh.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Kind of like it.
It almost
Yeah,
like
that is creepy as hell.
Right? Almost looks like it's got a face to it. Like, and then
almost,
like it's got like something hanging down. Like, and it's.
Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all are between.
And this now, like, here's the thing: people can talk about like you know, like, okay, you edited the video, it's AI. Now, this is clipped from a live stream on YouTube. And anybody who knows anything about YouTube live stream, you can't edit that stuff. You can delete it,
right?
Or you can download it, edit it, and re-upload it, but it's no longer a live stream. The original live stream is only under the live stream category on YouTube.
To do that on a live stream, you would have to do it off a computer as you live streamed it. There's no way you could actually do it.
Yeah.
Right. And you would be sitting at a desk or something. You wouldn't be out here filming this with your cell phone right now. Right.
Like if you back it up just a tiny bit.
Right. Or you'd have to be some kind of special effects team out here in the woods hanging this from a tree with puppet strings or some crap, right? And then make it disappear.
Sorry.
Right? So that's why this is crazy, because this is this is clipped from it, right? This is just a clip, but this live stream is just still on his channel under his live stream, so you can see this. And this clip is just an actual clip from it. This clip isn't messed with, just a section of it that shows it.
Yeah,
but it's still there to see.
Back it up just a tiny bit. You'll see the lights up above it, just right up above it. Keep going until it. Yeah, you see right there. It's like eye shine, and it turns, but the rest of it stays in the same position.
Well, yeah, it looks like whatever those things are, like it looks like it's these twinkly things are like sparkling around it.
Yeah, but you see right above it, you see what looks a lot like eye shine. You see what I'm talking about?
I saw it. Right there.
Yeah.
And then that.
Yeah, right. I see what you're saying.
Kind of turns to the right, but the rest of it is still.
Yeah, look at that.
In the same position.
It has such a weird, like, it almost has like just a, like, I don't know, man. It has some kind of just a head, like
structure on top.
It's so. This is so weird. Like I couldn't even begin to guess what the hell this is. If this is some kind of an entity, I mean, unless this is actually like you're looking at an actual apparition of some kind of a spirit,
right?
Like I that's the thing is I don't know, but this is just the strangest thing I've ever seen.
We have a couple of questions in there from the chat.
Yeah, let's see what the questions are.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. It has like those glares like spider webs do across.
Yep.
Like I see them. I do see them.
Well, yeah, because when it started in the bush, you could see like two.
Yeah,
but
this is definitely like
odd
right here.
Yeah, whatever this is something different. This is something that's just there. Some kind of, I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, Sharon Guy in the chat says, "What is that between the two little trees to the left?"
Somewhere here. Yeah, he won the lottery with that one.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to debunk or try to say it's a. Because even a spider web, if it falls, it doesn't do that shape.
Right.
Yeah, and what's with all the twinkly? What's all with like the little like dancing twinkly like sparkly thing around it?
If it was hanging down and it was closer to that tree, so you could say it was hanging down off that tree, and it had more like of a draped rag, I would say the sparkly things was it like bugs in that catching the light, but it doesn't correlate because how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can see a spider web twinkle like that if it's got moisture collected in it,
But that does not look like a spider web.
No.
Just the shape of it alone, I can't figure out how you would do that. Be honest with you.
It's strange. Yep, and ever since
that's a good one.
Well, here's the thing. Like I think that was the second visit to that location. The first visit, it was me, Trapper, and him, and then the second visit, that was the second visit live. But the first visit we were there, he had his thermal and his camera, and he was watching with his thermal and his camera, and he captured a heat signature of something. It started off a little bit colder, but it started to get warmer. Like you could see an outline of something.
Mm-hmm.
And then a heat signature of a hand reached for his thermal.
Wow.
That's that location at that same location there. And he freaking flinched and jumped back and freaked out. That's yeah, that was the first visit, and then that thing was captured there. And I tell you what, ever since then, every time I go back there, you want to talk about like being a little bit on edge someplace. That place always has me a little bit on edge whenever I go there, because after seeing that and that, it's like you kind of like know you're not dealing with something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know something's there, and you're a little bit, you know, you're a little bit on edge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Talk about like a strange trust exercise. You're there, kind of like you're just there, knowing this thing was just there, and now you're going back there again, and you're filming. At any moment, you're out there, like, you know, he goes that way, I go this way, and you're looking this way, and you're like, it could be behind me right now, and I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep filming.
Mm-hmm.
It could be sitting behind me right now.
Yeah.
Good night, Belinda.
Yeah. Good night, Belinda. Yeah. Well, MT, it was good having you on here.
Oh, thanks. Always good.
Yeah. You always have some really good stuff to show and stuff to talk about. Always enjoy watching your lives and your premieres.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And
seems like the stuff comes to you. Like, I think there's something to that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's why stuff happens, because each of us, there might be certain things, like we're beacons. That's how I put it.
Yeah. So
it's fun.
You just got to go out there and, you know, you start filming, but you don't really expect to find anything. But if you're going out there and being like, okay, yes, I'm going to find something, you're not going to find anything. But if you just let it happen, usually something, even at the slightest bit, you can catch something if you're not expecting it.
Yeah, just like you're trying to find an old lost friend.
Yep.
That's how you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think some of us do have a beacon. That's why we get more EVPs than others or whatever. But I also think it's the ones that actually open themselves. Like, I really think there's something there. Once you open yourself up to that, it just gets bigger.
Yeah, right. Yep, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit past the time we were gonna cut out, so
it's past my bedtime. I'm just gonna say it.
But Mike, you're always welcome to come back on anytime.
All right, thanks. Do it again.
Yeah, and Sparky, I want to thank you for co-hosting, and I want to tell you about the interview we had. I asked you because I knew that you were familiar with the area, and not just that, but you're a very likable, personable man, and we really enjoy having you on.
Thank you very much. It was an honor.
Yeah, you're always welcome back. Always. And everybody in chat, thank Sparky for coming on.
Sparky.
Thanks, Sparky.
Yeah, so
it's the doggy. It's the puppy back there.
Yes, he is puppy too. I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, remember, we're on every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central. We usually try to cut out at 10.
Yes, Sparky. No.
but no, it's like we said earlier. Once we get to talking and we have very interesting guests come on, we have all kinds of stuff to talk about. because there's a lot of stuff that happens. So it's always a blast having everybody on, and we look forward to many more times in the future getting to talk with y'all. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you, Mike. And
all right, good night.
About the show. Yeah. You have a good night.
See you guys.
Stay safe out in the woods, man.
Oh yeah, you too.
All right. Good night. All right, Sparky. So, the interview, like we said, that was an awesome interview with Daniel, and look forward to possibly having his friend come on.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
that would be amazing. So I'll let you know if I hear from him. If I can, I'll also have him get in touch with you. So yeah, hopefully we can have that happen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat, I want to thank y'all for showing up, and those of you that watched the interview before our show, hope you enjoyed it. And so we're gonna go ahead and drop you down, Sparky, and you have a great night, and
you too.
Great weekend, and we'll see you in the near future.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Salute.
All right, man. Have a good night. All right, everybody. Once again, thank y'all for coming in and joining us on our live. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell. And then if you want to, leave a comment after the show, and me and Christy will definitely reply to your comments.
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, of course, we love the comments.
Yeah. Bless everyone, and I hope you have a safe rest of the week and enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you, probably see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
AI Mike is having another show, so we'll see you then. Till then, everybody,
keep squatching.
All right, good night. Whispers in the woods where shadows play. Legends come alive at the break of day. Footsteps echo loud, but no one's there. Bigfoot's lurking in the midnight air. Dark house beneath the moonlit gloom. Eyes that shine like fire in a room of doom. Poltergeist dancing, moving through the halls. Ancient secrets breaking through the walls. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fright. Cryptids in your mind, let your wonder grow. The hidden world is ours to know. From the forest deep to the attic's dust door. O.C.S.T, we're learning to trust. Trust in
the snow where the brave won't tread. Hidden voices calling from the things we've read. The unknown sings with a haunting sound, empowering us as the tales go around. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. BIGFOOT and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in a silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight. O.C.S.T, it's more than a name. Bigfoot and stuff, it's a whole new game. Chasing the truth in the silent night. Empowered by the mystery, fueled by the fight.